Looking back, can you even imagine that you have gotten it to this point and it has turned into what it has become?
Nah, man, it's really crazy. I mean, when we were talking about marketing this event and we said, man, we didn't have it as the 50th event because we did these numbered events and then we did like the BKFC fight nights, which were, we were trying to just toss some other things around. And I'm like, dude, this is the 50th event. It's the 50th event, man. Like, no, 28 states turned me down, some of them multiple times. I pitched this project 68 times in front of state athletic commissioners and got 68, 67 no's. And on the 68th try, they gave me a yes. So
Who was the yes, David?
it was Brian Pedersen from the state of Wyoming. Um,
Awesome.
very very big state with a small population. It was an unbelievable show. We tried to number one on Twitter for that first show, and then we just kept rolling. And now we're gonna in 2023 we're gonna do events in 8 different countries. We're gonna
Wow.
do a total of 64 events for BKFC worldwide. So it's a crazy crazy time for us.
That's awesome. Is there I think people talk about it being particularly brutal. Is there a misconception, though, about bare knuckle fighting, or is there not?
I mean, look, it's borderline brutal if you talk about blood, right? There's a lot
Right.
of lacerations, but we have data that backs up everything that we've been doing for all of our events, and we actually have less concussiveness, less subconcussive damage, less facial fractures, even less hand breaks than boxing or mixed martial arts. The only thing we have more of is lacerations, and
Wow.
if you want to call that semi-brutal, then it's semi-brutal. But at the end of the day, there's an appetite for this.
Absolutely. Now I saw, looking at your Twitter account, and I saw you're going to be in Hollywood, Florida. Of course, the incredibly popular governor in Florida, Ron DeSantis. You've extended an invitation. Have we heard back from the governor? And are you hopeful that you can get him inside that building?
I'm
That
pretty. I'm very, very confident he is going to be there live. I mean, this was the second time we did. Donald Trump actually called me because we were the first. We were the first combat sporting event that had live fans in it during the pandemic. In the whole, I mean, sorry, the first professional sporting event in the whole entire country, like any type of sport. We were the first one with fans. So I got a call from Trump, and then we talked to DeSantis a few times. And I think he's a great governor. He kept us in business. We would be out of business if it wasn't for the state of Florida. So here we are now on a rise doing our 50th show in the state of Florida. And hopefully he's in attendance. It looks like he's going to be.
Wow. Yeah. And I think probably not just fighting organizations, a lot of businesses probably would say the same thing about the governor.
Sure.
Um, let's talk about first of all, you've had now Mike Perry, you've had Venom Page, Paige Van Zant. The list just goes on and on of these really big name brand fighters who have fought for you. Anyone you're targeting? I know Nate Diaz is somebody you've talked about. Is there anyone, David, that you say, hey, I want that guy or girl to fight for me in BKFC?
Yeah, I mean, realistically, I mean, I want Nate Diaz, and we weren't allowed to make a play for him yet because he was in that UFC window. I want a couple other guys that are coming out. Really, truly, this partnership I did with Triller, when this thing goes public in early January or late December, the funding is going to be available. I want everybody, and I don't mean to sound that cocky. I want everybody. I will be in the business for every single free agent that ever comes to market now, and I think that's what's going to really take it for us to blow up. I mean, we're definitely very popular around the world. People know about bare knuckle. They know BKFC. They enjoy the fights, but one or two of those names, I think, really catapults us.
Yeah, I can only imagine, especially with Nate Diaz and how he's beloved in the community. Is there a fight, David, that you like for Nate, or is it really just, hey, let's get him in the door and then we'll figure that out?
I mean, I think it's the biggest fan favorite fight, in combat sports would be him versus Mike Perry. I mean, two guys that don't know how to back up, two guys that like to bang, two guys that bleed. I mean, I think it would be fantastic.
Can you imagine the blood, the canvas be soaked in blood?
Yeah, it would be awesome, man. That would
It
be.
would be
I
awesome.
mean, look, we made a play for Tyson Fury as well, but he has 3 more boxing matches that he's definitely slated to do. It was a different kind of deal. I mean, it was a deal where he would be involved in the growth of this thing and maybe get a piece of the company. But at this time, he can't do it right now. But we're going to revisit that. Like I said, we're targeting everybody because if I don't ask them, the answer is always going to be no. So I'm going to
Right.
ask every single guy. I'm going to try to pull him over and try to blow this thing up.
One more thing on Nate before I let you go, David. Have you or how far along did you get as far as trying to bring Nate in? Did you talk to him? Was there an offer made? Do you anticipate talking to him again in the future? Where are you with Nate specifically?
It's just that he knows that there's tremendous interest in him, and we're not allowed to talk, like, and we weren't allowed to violate anything that he had with the UFC. So we didn't get deep except for talking to some of the people on his team, and know that he does have some interest in this, but the money's got to be right because he's a superstar, and he's got to be paid like one, and we're willing to do that because we think he's going to bring the fans over for us, and that's what we need, right? We're going to spend a lot of money on marketing, so why not spend a lot of money on the right fighter who's going to market this thing for us? So that that's kind of our viewpoint, and we think we're in a great spot right now. At the end of 2022, we're going to close this thing out with a bang with three more events: England, Hollywood, Florida, and then end up in Thailand. And then we have the biggest Muay Thai the biggest Muay Thai fight ever that we're going to do. Bare knuckle Sanchai versus Bukaw will happen March 18th in Thailand. It's actually the two most popular Muay Thai fighters ever on the history of the planet. So it's going to be a huge show. We got a lot of great things planned. We're opening up a lot of territories. I'm happy. The fighters are happy. The staff's happy. So, and the fans are happy. So, I mean, we got a great product. We just got to keep pushing this thing.